Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video on the channel. Inside of today's video, we have the EMEA monthly final grand finals. We got Humble versus SK Gaming, so a rematch of the semi-finals of the world finals last year, I believe. But anyways, we've got Humble, of course, the world champions, and then SK Gaming, the team that I predicted to win this monthly final, because SK seem to always start the year off really hot. They've got a new roster, but only Ope switching out for Lanane. Of course, Humble staying the exact same as well, so this is going to be a really tough contest between both of these teams. I'm expecting a bang out set number 5. This can go either way. So, Kaboom Canyon, let's straight away talk about the draft event. So, in terms of the bans, obviously, the best picks are going to be Colette, Angelo, and Melody here. Amber, early on in the draft, again, you can never really go wrong with that. So they just go with a Chuck straight away. So I'm guessing here, especially for SK, they've got to go 2 brawlers that can just deal a lot of damage really quickly. And that's why, of course, Humble went with the 8-bit as well. So kind of taking away one of the best brawlers that just dealing damage super quick. So I'm noticing not a lot of people have been going Colt, but I was literally about to say they're going to go Colt for that DPS. Again, they want to just get onto the safe as quickly as possible. Amber as well with the spinny gadget. Dancing Flames, you can get a lot of damage on the safe. And they're probably going to go again with another damage dealer or a Cordelius to counter this Chuck. They could go with either one of them. And we're going to go with a Carl instead. Okay, Carl, very good as well. I think I've seen this earlier on in the monthly finals, because actually the pros tend to use a flying hook a lot more just to get up the map, but you can definitely use the fire gadget as well, gets a lot of damage. And then for SK here, they need something defensive to kind of clean up all the mess. I don't think Bell is good enough into all of this. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, maybe like an Eve to clean up. Eve's not even that great into any of these though. I just don't know who would go personally. Bell, okay, they did go with the Bell. I mean, yeah, Bell can be good into a Colt and an Amber, but I feel like there's still a lot of HP on the side of SK, and if they can just like keep up the aggression, they're going to be pretty good. The problem is here as well, if Humble do get their setup, they're just plain and simple going to win. So it's all about this early engagement here for SK. Both compositions, again, I like them both. A little bit weird how the draft has gone, but I'm going to have to side with Humble personally, just because they've got that 8-bit, and again, if they can get it, like, there's nothing that fully counters the Chuck here, so it's basically a 2 versus 3, and then Chuck is on his own. Really, that's how it goes. So let's see if Samantha can get a really good quick setup. Again, I've seen a few Chucks today mess up their setups, and that of course can literally be the difference maker here. But you can see Chuck is just not great at defending, but this is really well played from Semantic here. He gets the pinch nice and early. Let's try see if he gets the pinch here, which again, he needs to help in that first engagement, I think. But once he... Okay, he's going to go up here. I don't know if he's messed up his setup whatsoever. I can't really see. Boss is getting ran down here. Yoshi's going to die eventually, but this is a lot of damage from SK. And here's me talking... Okay, he's going to go with the extra damage setup, maybe? I'm confused by this setup. I'm confused by this one. I think they've lost this round. Surely they've lost this one. There's too much damage here. And this is why I feel like... Actually, no, he's not messed it up. He's going to go in here. But the thing is... Yeah, look at this. They can just run. Why did I go with the Humble setup? I don't know. Why did I think that? I just... Every single time I see Chuck, I feel like it just loses now. Do you guys agree? Like, Chuck used to be like the GOAT in Heist. A lot of time, I just see it banned out because you just rather not deal with that nonsense. But if you got big damage brawlers, literally like SK have gone, this is the key way to counter. A lot of people always ask, how do you counter Chuck? Just go damage. Amber deals a lot of damage to the safe with the gadget. Carl, if Carl can get onto the safe and shoot the back wall constantly whilst on top of the safe, a lot of damage. Colt, a lot of damage. So this is what we're doing. We're just running it down at the moment, and that is a big... I just don't see how Humble win this now. I think... Again, like, we're going to go up, but they just can't deal with it defensively. This is why I didn't want them to go Bell. Here's me saying that they had draft right, and I'm speaking like they shouldn't have gone Bell. I just didn't... Like, Bell just doesn't have the defensive capabilities to kill all of those brawlers with the amount of ammo she has, and she's pretty squishy. Like, Luki's doing the best. Joker gets a hypercharge on the safe as well, and look, Semantic is kind of forced to defend in this situation. There's just not enough defensiveness about Humble's composition, and even Semantic going up, like, he's dealt 20% to the safe. Ope is gonna super around, manage to stay alive, and he's gonna get the last swing as well. Wow, SK That was crazy. Obviously, they came the back off a reverse sweep in the semi-final, and boy, are they hot at the moment. Winning the first set. Love to see it. Let's jump into set 2. All right, guys, moving into set number 2, we have Brubble Triple Dribble. The bans are on the screen right here, so in terms of the best picks, obviously in SK's mind, it's going to be Melody, Juju, and Lou. Can't really disagree with the Juju and the Lou. Melody, I've been seeing a much bigger play rate by the pros. Again, I think it's more of a pro player pick in terms of I don't think a lot of people watching this video are going to make Melody work because there's a bit high skill cap and you've got to be a lot more patient to play Melody. But you can see here, one brawler I do not like is Nita on Triple Dribble, and especially into a thrower. I know it's paired with a Max. I got this grain with Nita. It's just so annoying. The thing is, like, she just get like destroyed by throwers, but at least like it takes throwers a long time to chip her down. So it'd be interesting to see what Humble go in retaliation to this. Probably like a Janet or something to just outrange them. Let's see, but we're kind of got to be careful of a late pick. Assassin. So we're going to go with an Amber. Okay, Amber in the open lane can be pretty decent. I'm still not completely sold on Amber here completely. They got Larry that can be good into aggression. Amber. What else could it go in Stu's band? They could go... I can't really go... I actually don't know. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Well, they can maybe go tank themselves, but that's into Nita, like, I don't know, Griff to open up the map, but then you've got Larry, like, what can you really go? In this situation, Gale. Gale? Really? Is Gale the answer here? I just don't like Gale personally. I mean, he's okay because still his main attack is pretty good, especially with his slow, but I've just never really liked Gale. You guys know that I tend to go off Gale pretty hard once he gets super charge rate nerfs. And I was one of the ones that early predicted his fall off in the meta, even though people still believed he was pretty high in the meta. But yeah, I just don't see a good play rate from him, good win rate from him. I just don't know. And they're going to go with the Kenji into this. So pretty interesting. I see a lot of Kenji late pick, even against like some tougher matchups, because he's pretty good into like, you know, Larry, because Larry's pretty squishy. Well, not squishy, but you know what I mean, can get some good pressure into him. Amber, I don't know whether into Gale though. I'm guessing he's just going to go that for pressure, because the thing is with Nita is you need a brawler that gets pressure, or else she's just going to get spawn trapped the entire game. Like, she hasn't got good matchups here whatsoever. I mean, she may be decent into the Gale, but she's going to get pinched out a lot of the time here. So I'm a bit undecided here. I don't like the Gale, so personally, I mean, I've seen Humble play this map so beautifully so many times, but I feel like SK might have the better composition just because I don't like Gale. So I'm going to go with SK. It's just I hate Gale that much, okay? It's going to prove me wrong, I know it. Alright, so they've already got a max super here. I'm not sure why they popped it so early, but I guess here comes the Nita Bear with the gadget. Semantic shouldn't have enough. Great plays all around here, and SK get the first goal. So in terms of like predictions as well, I've seen all of the casters put out Humble, just because Humble just kind of like brushed aside all of the other teams. But definitely I think SK face the harder teams. It looked like, you know, Foot just narrowly beat them. You know, Team Heretics look pretty good, but they are like a new team, like completely a new team with a new coach as well. So that's probably why they didn't seem as strong. But whilst SK, of course, they've only switched one person. We've got the same coach and everything like that. So here comes the Hypercharge Nita Bear. Joker's going to get a lot of good pressure here. Amber's pretty weak. I mean, somehow the bear still gets absolutely melted there. Not really the best value from that bear, but Yoshi manages to stay alive. Well, he actually gets taken down there in the end by the Amber. Semantic on 36 HP, but I'm liking this from SK so far. What they're doing is they're just getting a lot of pressure and just constantly going in time and time again. It's not even giving Humble a time to think whatsoever, because SK just have complete control. They're completely in their faces, but Joker's run out of gadgets here. So Semantic, Joker's gonna go on in. He needs to try and work his way to a super. Yoshi's got great position on the wall here, and again, Amber hasn't got the gadget that can help pinch out. Yoshi's got to push forward. Ope with a great kill onto Gale, and again, I just don't like the Gale. I get like the kind of thinking, you know, he's like a decent range brawler. He's an anti-tank, but I just don't actually think he has the capabilities of an anti-tank anymore. He's just not that great. But here I'm saying this, and there's 30 seconds left and can definitely make a comeback. So Ope is going to dash forward. He's going to wait for all 3 players so he can stack the hypercharge there. Bit of a risky move, to be honest, seeing as a couple of people are weak. They're going to concede here, aren't they? Like, they're just going to concede. Yeah, here comes the Gale super. Ope manages to get the kill. Boss going to... How did they survive that? How did they survive that? Really well played from SK here. And they are 1 round away from going 2 sets up, which will be absolutely massive for them. Huge. Wow, this is just... This has to be momentum at this. I mean, they're obviously a really good team, but they're really, really going for it. This is what you love to see. The confidence is absolutely sky high. And as I always say with just competition in general, if you've got the confidence, of course, these players are just as good as each other. And a lot of time it comes down to... who has better drafts on the day, who is just feeling better, playing better on the day. And SK are just that team at the moment. I'm telling you, like, whenever it's the first monthly final, they just tend to be the best team in the world. They just look absolutely cracked and unbeatable. I don't know what they drink first monthly final, but they need to do it for every single monthly final. Some great super there from Joker. Manages to cycle his super again. I think it didn't need that second super, but it doesn't matter anyways. And now we're just 1 goal away from securing this set overall. Wow, this is just massive. This is just crazy. Another max super here. A great and amazing... What? Did you just see that? Did you just see that? He just got, I think, like 3 swipes with that Kenji super and cycled another one pretty much instantly. That is insane. I'm honestly dumbfounded. I mean, again, I did predict that just Gale is not good anymore. Just please stop drafting Gale. I know Humble are the draft gods, and they obviously went it for a reason, but I just don't like him. And that Kenji pick was very brave as well. I mean, really well played from SK in total there. I just think that they had too much aggression for Humble to deal with. And that's set number 2 over with. Let's jump into set 3. All right, guys, jumping into set number 3, we have Hot Zone Ring of Fire. So this is literally Humble's playground. Ring of Fire, this is where they taught a lot of people a big lesson in terms of how strong Berry is. So you see a lot of the nonsense actually just banned out. The meta is actually quite crazy in draft from what I've seen. I've just seen a lot of like Berry compositions, a lot of like Poco, a lot of like Kit as well in this meta. I think I just don't even know why it is like that. It's just wild. If you watched APAC monthly finals, there was just so much Kit. So Stu first pick, of course. Stu is just really, really good. They could probably go like a Juju here. I mean, Stu's actually, people find Stu good into Juju, but you can never really go wrong with Juju here. Good against any sort of tanks as well. So what you got to be careful of here, well, Draco's actually banned. So, I mean, Frank can be pretty decent still. You've got, so Gus, you've got to kind of pair that with something, some type of at least DPS type brawler, right? You don't want to get screwed over. So I'm trying to think what brawlers you could go. I mean, try to think. I can't. Griff. I was thinking Griff, but Griff isn't good into Stu. Amber. Okay, we go with the Amber again here. So Amber's always a safe brawler to go in draft. I always just try and think of someone different than Amber, to be honest. But yeah, you liking Amber a little bit more here. So in terms of what's good into Amber here, we could go with like a Bell. I mean, Bell could be good. Is Bell really that good into Gus? I mean, it's decent into Gus, and then it's good into Amber as well. We could go with a B as well, in case I was scared of against any anti-tanks. But Bell is pretty good into tanks as well with grounded star power, so if we could just go with that. They're going to go with, let's see what they go with. Penny. Okay, Penny. It's decent into their composition. It is pretty decent. But now you really, really need an anti-tank. They go with Kenji. Okay. Kenji... I can just smell Griff. I don't know why I can smell it. I can smell Griff to open up the map. I can smell... trying to think what else they can really go into this. Because if you go like a tank, you're just going to feed a lot of Penny turrets. Can't really go Janet, can you? You can go... I mean, Maisie's not going to be good into like Penny and Stu. I mean, this is a difficult draft. I would not want to be on Humble's side. I mean, I was thinking Kit, but... maybe that's a bit too far. Okay, Buster. Yeah, Buster's decent into Penny and Stu because they'll just never kill him. And then if you've got good gadget timing with Buster onto Kenji, you can definitely like confirm a kill pretty quickly. So to be honest, I would not like to call this one. I really wouldn't. Most of the time I can like kind of feel out a draft, but I think in terms of zones, I think Humble probably just have comp here, just because if we're looking at like HP and looking at zone survival, you've got Amber, Gus, decent amount of HP, and you've got Buster, but you might be giving a lot of value to Penny here because there's going to be a lot of clumping, for example, a lot of hypercharges. It's going to be a weird one, so let's just go into it here. Again, I don't think the drafts are as crazy as I've seen in like semi-finals, whatever else. So if you want me to actually go into the semi-finals, leave a comment here and just let me know, because I'll do it on my second channel. I've already watched it, of course, but there was just a lot of stuff going on. That's what I'm talking about, boss. Great gadget to confirm the kill here, and this is the zone time I'm talking about. So one thing, again, I don't want to like ruin the semi-finals, but there was a composition. I think it was, actually no, it was a quarterfinal. It was Foot versus, I forgot the team, it was Enraged team on Open Business. And it's what I'm trying to say, it looked like a clear out draft, but because Foot's composition had a lot of HP, like Nita and I think another brawler with a decent amount of HP, they could just stay in the zone for so long, like a Draco as well. Even though they were getting killed and killed time and time again, they just got so much zone time because of the amount of HP they got. And this is exactly what they're just going to do here. Humble is going to group up all around the middle. You know, Semantic's just making sure that Kenji doesn't get in the bushes, stay around the middle as much as possible. And then, of course, okay, there's a Penny turret. It's going to be a little bit troublesome here. Joker's going to push right up. Everyone's pretty low on the side of Humble. Kenji Super going and gets the kill onto Luki as well. That is absolutely massive. These Joker Supers are crazy on Kenji. I know Kenji Supers are pretty easy to hit for the most part, but even against pros, they're a little bit more difficult. And there's a great kill from Opain. It's going to pop a hypercharge in time, which is going to keep him fully alive against that Amber Super, and that's going to manage to get a kill onto Luki as well. And everything is crumbling for Humble. Surely I can't be waiting all day for the grand final and for it to be a sweep like this. Surely not, guys. Come on. Surely, Humble, come on, fight back. I want to see a match here. Okay, one game away here from SK. I mean, again, like a clean sweep would just ruin the hype of the final. Come on, I want to see a set 5 bang out. But yeah, looking good for SK. I'm trying to like decipher what was the real game changing play. I think it was just when the whole of Humble got really weak, and of course Joker managed to get in behind, well, not behind, he got into that little pocket down the left hand side, and that was just too much for him. And of course, like I said, Penny gets a lot of value into them all grouping up, so I just don't really know here. Amber, again, I like Amber in draft. I like Amber, so excuse the high-pitched voice, but I just always feel like she kind of just does nothing. You know what I mean? Like, she never makes the difference when it comes down to drafts. Like, she's good, she's just okay into everything. That's why she's such a strong brawler. She never makes the difference. And here, as I'm saying that, like, Samantha just pops off with the Gus shield. Does miss the Amber Super, though. And now Joker's going to get a lot of value. At least a good thing with Joker into Buster. I know Buster should mainly win the interaction because he's grouped up. But Joker can get easy supers from Buster overall. So looks like Penny's going to push him behind here. Really like this play to get some good aggression. Ope's already got a hypercharge, and that's going to be a free kill on Semantic. Does waste one shot, and that's going to get him burnt up, and that's, yeah, he's going to die out here. But it's just such good positioning from SK. I don't see how Humble really turn this around at the moment. Joker is pretty weak. That's just so much Penny value, and that's going to be a free hypercharge. Should have managed to get Joker down, but that is just a lot of damage to concede here. Semantic's just going to get hit by that Penny turret. There's nothing that they can really do in response to that Penny. That's why I would have maybe preferred like a Griff to open up the map and maybe counter this Penny turret. But I mean, it's working for Humble so far. It's really going down to the wire. They need to all group up and heal up, but there's a Penny hypercharge just raining down on them. They need a Boss Super. They need something to get them back in this game. Boss Super played out, manages to get the kill, but Ope's getting a lot of percentage here. Boss manages to stay alive. Just Luki needs to get the kill onto Ope. Ope stays alive like crazy here. Joker gets the kill onto Luki. That's GG's. That's surely GG's here. And SK win the first monthly final of the year. Absolutely insane. Clean sweeping the world champions. A reverse sweep in the semi-finals. They really did deserve to win this monthly final. And I've got to say, I got every single prediction right this month. So, I mean, you love to see that. And of course, I root for pretty much every single team in the EMEA. Absolutely. It was a great final, even though it was 3-0. I really enjoyed that one for sure. and I'm excited for the BSC season going forward. So, of course, we've got NA and South America next week as well. So, if you guys want me to cover that, let me know down in the comment section as well. But yeah, congrats to SK. Fully deserved. Really, really well played. Here's me saying that I favor literally Humble's composition multiple times. But I think the demise there was trying to group up too much. I think with Penny, you've got to spread your wings a little bit, because else she's just going to get ultimate value out of the splash. And you can see that DPS was all on Humble's side, but the plays that you could make with Stu and Kenji were just too much for Humble to handle. So that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.